Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Connecting the World show, and I'm your host, Monim Rizvi. Today, we have a guest from Germany. Her name is Catriona, and who is Catriona? What is she is doing, and where is exactly she is from? So, without any wasting of time, I'm going to invite. But first of all, I would like to introduce her. Is a brief introduction. Like Catriona is a theater and sustainability trainer. She's a singer. She's a songwriter. She's a storyteller, and she's a dreaming facilitator. So, without any wasting of time, I'm going to invite my guest, Miss Catriona Blanke. Hello, how are you, Catriona?
Hey, I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for your wonderful time you gave it to me. It's such a nice and pleasure for me to have you on my show.
It's a privilege. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. Catriona, first of all, I would love to know more about you. Who are you? Where are you from? And what you do exactly in the life?
Oh. How much time do you have?
We have
Uh,
we have whole night. Don't worry for the
Sounds good.
time.
Well, as you said, I live in Germany. I live in southern Germany, close to Switzerland. There's a big lake, the Lake of Constance. That's about 30 kilometers from where I am. Said I'm a slur. I am a sustainability trainer. I'm a musician and a training facilitator. So I have lots of different areas of action. And yeah, I'm I've been a freelance for 10 years now. So my path has been quite an independent one and an eventful one. Yeah, so I'm a mix of many things.
Okay, Katrina, I have some requests. Do you have any hand-free or like earbuds? Because I have some kind of noise from your side.
Well, the I can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's
Yeah, I can
better.
hear you. It's better. Sure.
Okay. So, okay, we'll start
We'll start.
from your study background. Kindly tell me what is the exactly major subject you studied in the university or in the high school?
Uh, studied acting. So I started becoming an actor, but I did not finish. I spent about 3 years in total in acting, uh, but I've studied many different things in many sort of independent environments. So I've never been to a big university or the that you teach in. Um, and very early on, I knew that I wanted to use theater and acting um, to help humanity advance, to really use art to empower people. And so I've done different courses and different workshops and learned different things along the way. I've always been someone who does a lot of learning by doing. So I don't have a degree, I don't have a certificate of any kind. It's always been a sort of zigzagging, going with the flow kind of path.
Okay, I got it, your point. Okay, now, as you told, you studied acting and theater, and then you think that you have to do something for humanity through these kind of what you have studied, but you didn't complete your studies. Uh, why you choose the field of theater or acting? Is it the goal what you exactly decided when you were a child, a little child, Katriana, a little girl who thinks that when I become 18 years old or 20 years old, I would be a best actor of the world or the famous actor who works on the different kind of films or a theater. What was your exactly thinking when you were a child?
What was I thinking? Well, first of all, I never wanted fame. It's never interested me. It's not something I strive for. It's something I regard as suspicious. But I always wanted and still want a fulfilled life. I want to do what I enjoy, and I want to do what I'm good at. And when I was a child, I always had a big imagination. So I loved telling stories. I had imaginary friends. I dressed up. And in every school play, I would take part because it was fun. I enjoyed it. When I was a child, I wanted to write children's books. And when I was 14, I actually did write like a kind of book for adolescents. It was never accepted and published, but but that changed into something else. But it was always I never had this clear idea. I want to be that. It was more like, okay, what am I enjoying, and what do I feel called to do? Yeah, I think that describes it best.
Okay, now I have one more question for you. As you chosen the theater, how you are helping people with the field of that theater? As you say, you want to help for the humankind, or you want to work with some kind of people. So how that is working?
Um, so what I started to do is I looked at the processes of theater and of bodywork to try and find out what is it can empower people when they do this. And I believe that we all are very unique. Everyone in their way. Like you are me. You have things that only you can express because you exist only once. So what I'm trying to facilitate for people to express who they truly are and what they know about this amazing existence. So the things that you know are quite different from what I know. And if we both express that, then magic can happen. And also, I see a lot of, like in German, there's a lot of things being held back, things suppressed and not expressed. And people suffer because they don't feel seen, and because they bottle things up, they don't express their emotions, and creativity goes down. And I also firmly believe that in order to solve the many challenges that we are facing as a global family, we need our creativity. We have to step into owning our imagination and owning the many amazing things that can be brought forward if we play, if we express, if we imagine that this can be different. And so I create environments, workshop spaces, intensive training, where people can experiment with that and experience a different sort of atmosphere where they're allowed to make mistakes, for example. I don't know about Pakistan, but in Germany, that's a big problem. We are not allowed to make mistakes. You are punished, and you are you always have to try and be perfect, but that's not how we learn. We learn by making mistakes and figuring it out. Whoa, what went wrong? What can this? But if I'm in constant fear of trip, then there's so much restriction. So in my work, I try to create as safe an environment as I possibly can, so that people can try and experience new things.
So actually, you were trying that people should have some different kind of environment so they can learn from their mistakes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, my second question is: as you are a sustainable trainer, so what is exactly the duty of the sustainability trainer, and who is the sustainability trainer? First, kind of chat who is, and what's your duty?
Hmm. Right. So sustainability has been a term that's been used many times, and I'll just adjust the settings for a second. And we all know things are wrong. We all know that, you know, plastic is covering the oceans and that the forests are dying, and, you know, go on and on. We all know this stuff. So why aren't we acting? There is a divide in the knowledge and our impulse to do something. And I believe that is not because humans are bad. We care. Most of us care very deeply about it and about our families and about our friends. Why are we not acting? And I believe because of the way that we are taught. It's because of the kind of education that we are given, which is mainly intellectual and which is based on a win-lose concept. It's about a hierarchy, right? You have to sort of rise to the ladder and go up to be able to survive. And so it's always about using power over someone or something. And sustainability training, theater training, a sustainability context tries to enhance people's skills to let this information and the knowledge that we have truly touch them, and then to do something about it. And I think it's just dropped out.
Not quite. I was just trying to set in something regarding the voice problem. I was listening to your first answer. Exactly, you did give the answer. Now I have a question. Like, what are the biggest sustainability issues
The biggest. Oh,
according to you?
where to start? I won't start naming single issues because that information is everywhere. I will name the underlying problem, and that is action. So what you're doing, connecting the world is amazing to me, truly, because we are so disconnected from it. We are disconnected from nature. We do not feel what is going on anymore, and that is everywhere. Like, I don't know my neighbor's name. I don't know what kind of tree grows out in front of my house. I don't know what that tree needs. We've sort of bought into the story of disconnection, which is false. Because everything is. We are all part of a huge organism that is called, but we have allowed capitalism and power struggles to disconnect us from what is sustaining us, and that is a big problem. And if you take this, you can follow it to anything, like the plastic covering the ocean, forests burning in Brazil, social injustice everywhere. It's all around us. And at the same time, the solutions are also all around us. And it's a matter of focusing on them and adding my own weight solution rather than to the problem. It's uncomfortable. It's not a cozy process, because it means I have to change. It means I have to be flexible with what I think I need, and with, you know, my habits and my concepts of who I am. But it's also a very rewarding process, I find, personally, because it means I grow all the time, and I change, and I try to become more of what I can be in order to serve. Your question.
Do you think what happened if we didn't become a sustainable?
Say again, I didn't understand.
What happened if we didn't become a sustainable in our life?
If we didn't.
Yeah.
If we didn't.
If we didn't.
I don't know. It can be very different. It depends on where you are, depends on your context. You can live a whole life and not be sustainable at all. I just personally believe that in the end that will be a very sad thing. I look back at my life and all I see is that I've taken and used it and given thing. I think that's a very empty existence. And the research that has been done with people close to dying, or even people who have been over that threshold and come back, the one thing that they is the way they haven't served, that they haven't given to others, the things that they didn't do. And so it's a personal decision. And in the end, we'll all find out, I guess, what it's all about. Nobody really has that certain knowledge, but yeah, so many studies show that what makes us happy is giving. We want to contribute something, and if we don't, there's a price for that.
Okay, as you earlier said that nowadays we don't know who is our neighbor, why that tree is in my balcony or in my front of my house. Why is happening all around the world? It's not just in Germany or in Pakistan. It's happening all around the world that we don't know even who are our neighbors, who is our new neighbor. We don't know anything.
Why? I don't know. The way that I personally see it is that it creates the possibility to decide differently. I mean, that's what polarity is, right? If you if one side of something becomes stronger, the other side also becomes stronger. So if I'm completely alienated from my neighbor or from a species or from nature, then my decision reconnect is much stronger. And that's something that I see as a positive side of it, or a learning aspect of it. But why it has become this way, I'm not an expert. I don't know. And I don't have, all the knowledge of this world. But I'm quite that it is something that our time and generation has.
Okay, now let's talk something different. You have some different kind of perspectives in your life also, as you're a singer. So who's your favorite singer?
Not limit that to just one person. There are so many.
One female and one male.
Oh, okay. Oh boy. Favorite. Okay, right now, I'm just gonna go from right now. My favorite band is called Tidelines. They're a Scottish folk band. Tidelines, and the lead singer is wonderful and female. Probably right now, Bow Huntress.
Oh, Huntress. Oh. I just find out the Tideline. They are a wonderful band, and some people exactly refer them to listen because they play some folk kind of music.
Yes, lovely guys. I heard them live in Scotland last year. It was a big party. And they also, what I love about them is that they integrate the Gaelic language, which is slowly coming back into Scottish culture. So I think it's amazing kind of storytelling to embrace your own culture that way and to bring some of the things that have been lost.
As you are also a singer, so what kind of music you love to sing? Like you love to sing rock, pop, classical, folk. What kind of music you like to sing?
Well, I was just talking to a friend before the show, and we were discussing that I have no repertoire of other artists. I just do my own stuff. I write my own, and I write my own music, and it's singer-songwriter stuff. But there's not really a genre, a kind of music that I could say. Like it's a bit folky, it's a bit pop kind of. Sometimes there's rock involved, but it's not. I can't
You have your
really
own
tie
genre.
it down. What's that?
You have your own genre.
Oh, maybe. I don't
So
know. No,
let
I'm just very
I,
adept
I
at
want to
taking
listen.
stuff from
I
other
want to
artists.
listen. I want to listen to your genre. What kind of genre you have?
I can post my website underneath. Once we're done, I can type it and then you can have a listen.
No, like this is a live show, so if you can sing one line for us,
No. uh,
not a full song, but just one line.
okay. I was trying to think in one.
It should be your personal.
Heute habe ich wieder mal ein Kreislauf. Problem, die Gedanken, die sich drehen und drehen und drehen und drehen und drehen. Ich suche einen Anker, ich suche einen Halt und vor lauter mich im Kreis drehen fühle ich mich alt. Und die Frau, die ich da liege, die sieht taub aus und grau, dass ich
I just love your way, but I didn't understand what you speak in German.
It's a song about burnout, basically. And about the permission to be well. That we actually have to give ourselves permission to feel good. And that there's a little voice somewhere in the background that keeps telling us you will be okay. And you are strong and you have the power. But we have to listen to that voice. And it's called Du darfst, which means you are allowed. You have permission.
Ah, that's great. So, like, you write some kind of song which makes you motivate to do something.
Yeah, also, yeah, I write, like, I can never plan what I write. It just arrives. And
Okay,
it's about
what
my own
exactly time
experiences.
you write song when it came? Because I asked some kind of writers, poets, at what time you write. They say we often write in the late night. We are going to sleep and suddenly something came to my mind. I just open my mobile or I open my book and I just write it down at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. Is same to with you, or you have sometime you wrote in the morning, in the evening, every time whenever you just come something came into your mind or you were thinking about something.
I can never plan. I've never been able to do that. I can't sit down and write. It will just arrive. Sometimes in the night, sometimes during the day. Sometimes it's just like a fragment of a lyric, and that will go in my head for months. And then all of a sudden it comes out. But I can't plan it at all.
Has it happened sometime you were driving the car and some a little theme came into your mind and you just make a like that and you make a tune and
Yeah.
then after when you have a time you just made it on the concentration and then you write the poem.
Yeah, absolutely. On the in the car and on the train. That works exceptionally well.
Subway like that. When
I
you're going
just
to work.
have to plug in my device or else you'll be gone soon.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
We should take it on the chart.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to know about, like you say, you are a dragon dreaming facilitator. What is exactly
Yep.
is? I'm listening for the first time.
So Dragon is a project management tool, and it is based on the knowledge of the Aboriginal people in Australia. Yeah, and it's a philosophy, and at the same time, it's a tool and a community. So there are people all over the world who use it, and it is about creating a project that is sustainable, that won't go out, that won't just end because people are tired or because they have fought, and it's making your dreams come true. And
So they came to
for
you for guidelines.
I met the founder, John Croft, who was in. He lived close to where I live. Ended up being his translator because I also translate to English.
So you translate.
So yeah, and so I got quite connected with him for a while, and learned quite deeply what this philosophy and technique is about. It's the philosophy is very fascinating because it is based on a win-win culture. So we away from having power over, as we before, to power with someone.
Okay, so like you tell people about win-win situation,
Say again.
a win-win situation.
How do create a win-win that is based on trying to gain the best for my partner, or the one who is cooperating with me, and away from ego, away from it's always about me and I have to gain and win, and if everybody does, then everybody is covered. And it's a beautiful, it's a very playful tool that I can really recommend. If any one of you is interested, they can also touch with me. It's something that you can partly do online, and it creates community as well. Like, it really connects you, dream team, with the people that are in the project with you. And it is called Dragon Dreaming because the image of the dragon is an interesting one, because the dragon is what awaits us outside our comfort zone. It's, it's where I face challenges, or where I face people that I don't get along with, and but when I slowly approach that dragon and start dancing with this dragon, then I can find treasure, and then I can grow, and then things can move in a way that nobody imagined before.
That's great. Okay, now I want to, at the end, I also want to talk about the storytelling. As you said, when you were young, you're supposed to play with, like you were talking with someone, assuming that he or she is sitting in front of you, and you are telling them story. So how you started the storytelling, and did you did some courses or certification for that, or it's like you have something in your genes?
It's a mix of all that. It's interesting. Last year, 2 years, I went to the International Storytelling Festival in Edinburgh, in Scotland. And I just happened to pass there, and it was on, and I went in and went to some events. And then last year I went back for the whole thing. And I realized that that is actually my family. That is my tribe. Those are my people. And that my whole life I have been a storyteller without really knowing, because I've told stories through my music and through my theater and in my workshops and privately, but I never considered myself a storyteller. And then I met all these people from all over the world who work as storytellers in different contexts, and it was so inspiring. It was absolutely mind-blowing. And from then, I to consciously work with story, and I also enrolled in a course. I have a wonderful teacher in Edinburgh, Daniel Allison, who gives online teaching. And so we have a storytelling course, and twice a month we meet. There's a group of us, and we tell stories, and we receive feedback, and we go to some live online storytelling events, and we tell. And there's a worldwide network of storytellers focused on preserving the ancient stories of our ancestors and of all the cultures of the world. Yeah, and it's just I'm so grateful to have found that, because it feels like home to me. And because also for a long time I've understood that what humans learn by our stories. Like we ever since humankind has existed, we have sat around campfires and shared stories. That's how things were passed along. That's how teaching went. That's how learning went, how community was gathered. And what I find fascinating is that the oral traditions that in Germany have almost disappeared are quite different to watching a movie or reading a story to someone, because the story lives between the listener and the teller, and it is something alive that always changes and is always sort of fluid and is created between the two of them. And that's quite magical, I find. I don't know, are there storytellers in Pakistan? Is there a tradition?
Sure, there. Like nowadays, children coming into this field, and they love to tell stories. They love to express themselves. They do a session on my Facebook. They are doing some sessions as a storyteller. Thank you so much, Catriona. You gave your precious time to me. It was such a wonderful session with you. I enjoyed a lot. Hope so you also enjoyed a session with me. In the end, I would love to take a message, positive message from your side for all around the world, as we are connecting the world. So I want some positive message from your side.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. It is such a privilege. And it's so interesting, because this is my third interview with Pakistan in 2 weeks. And it really is an honor. And I thank you so much for the effort you guys are making. I think it really creates understanding, and it's so enjoyable. And I hope that one day we can meet in person. That would be lovely. And message, I don't know, it's not what keeps coming when I'm asked that question is, please trust your hearts. Your hearts know precisely what is needed, and they want to express, they want to love, and they have all the wisdom that you need. And don't let anybody else decide who you are, because it's up to you. It's your decision. You are the soul that is in this particular body, in this particular situation, and you can make all the difference in the world. And I wish you love and all the best.
Thank you so much, Catriona. It was such a wonderful session with you. I enjoyed a lot. So tonight we have to end our session here. Take care. Bye bye. night.
Bye. Thank you.